Hi, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of OneMicNite Talk. Now, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of the back of the scene of the shenanigans that go on before we started, but I don't think we got to hear it. But we will have some special video footage, as I always promise, for you on our webpage and in our Patreon page. It's coming up soon. I'm working on that, so stick with us. The outtakes of the crazy OneMicNite Talk show. My name is Marco Suisse, and we want to thank you guys for all joining us for this episode of OneMicNite Talk. I'm here with my two incredible co-hosts. Over there we have, who are you?
Ashley. I thought you were going to say my name. That's why. Ashley was my favorite. What's up, boys? What's up, everybody, ladies and gents?
That's right. And then in square number 3, we have...
I am Liz Menezes, and I've missed all of you, so get ready, get comfortable, get in this chat.
That's right. Well, we promised you guys in our last episode that Liz would be with us on this episode, and here she is. She was out having the hot girl summer, like we said.
I have been, listen, I'm recording myself. I'm talking about myself. I'm wearing, like little tank tops.
You have been, I will applaud you. Your Instagram is getting hot and cheap.
Instagram is
right?
really hot. Yeah, right?
Go ahead. I'm wearing the lipstick.
Make sure you follow Liz on the Instagram.
Wake up with the messy hair.
Yeah.
That's right.
In bed.
This is me. Take me.
She's doing it.
I love
it.
Your Instagram is getting like, yeah, she's ready for
it's spicing up, right?
It's spicing up. I see y'all.
It's spicing up.
I'm getting that flow.
It's about time.
That's right. And on a side note, it's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow in New York City, and so is Liz. So get ready.
Oh man,
Liz is going to be on.
No, you know why I say no? Because it's still a work day.
Right.
Ain't nobody got time for no.
That's the problem, right?
If you
on a weekend.
Yeah, if you can't be out and it's 90 and you're stuck.
No.
We don't mind 90 degrees. We want to be out enjoying the 90 degrees, not the work.
Yes.
Yeah. So listen, guys, I got to tell you what we want to talk about, what we did, the last couple of days. So I last night had the pleasure of going to see Tina Turner on Broadway. The Tina Turner musical.
Listen, how was it?
It was amazing. I got a free ticket, first of all. That's the biggest part of it all.
Oh, wow. That's a really big deal.
Second of all, the actors, the cast, the crew, the set, the costumes, incredible. The music, you forget how good Tina Turner's music is until you're actually
so good.
You know what I mean? It's so good.
So good.
So the thing that I like the most about it, now this is the difference between off-Broadway and Broadway. We were talking about this during the show. In off-Broadway, it's mostly about the story. You get there, you see the acting, it's intimate, it's more intimate. Broadway, you get all the freaking bells and whistles that go along with it, that takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But you know what also makes it good? The fact that it's based on a real journey,
right? A
real woman,
exactly.
An artist, like incomparable. Like no one can compare.
Nobody can compare.
Energy, her drive. I mean,
right, but here's the thing: if you see that show on off Broadway, you don't have the money to put into the production like this huge production was.
Yeah.
Because at the finale, and I don't know if you guys are going to see it, but at the finale, they did 2 bonus songs, and it was like you were sitting in a Tina Turner concert.
And the girl who does the lead, if it's the same one that I've seen, she is amazing.
Was she nominated yet, or she won the Tony?
The original one is Adrienne Warren. She already won the Tony, and she left the show.
Okay, that's what I'm
now,
talking
the second person was also handpicked by Tina Turner. Now, she did the Tina Turner story in the West End in the UK, in London.
Oh,
so they're equally as good. It's not, equally as good. I'm telling you, that show, man.
Oh my God.
And it's still running? It's
only running until August 14th. So I recommend you going to see. Yep.
It's been on Broadway for a good minute.
Right?
I gotta go.
It really has.
I gotta go.
You definitely
I'm surprised that they are even taking it off Broadway, because it seemed like it's one of those shows that's like, it'll always be on Broadway. You know what I mean?
I just think that
long lasting, right?
Yeah, Broadway's just having trouble right now. Like Broadway in general is having trouble.
Still
it takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of money too. And the tickets are not too bad, but they need more than those cheap ticket sales of like $60.
Exactly.
The ones that I get, you know, like,
Right.
so.
But I mean, is it based on the fact that COVID is still active? Is it based on that?
I would say that's
and
part
money,
of the
like,
problem.
like Ashley said, or
I would say both, and the recession that we're in, you know, supposedly coming up. So people are a little more conservative with their money and how they spend
I was
their
just
money.
about to say, that's where it comes from. I think it's conservative, and no one really wants to sit in the theater with masks on.
Right.
I think it's the comfortability of things.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because they had a guy during the intermission walking around with a sign saying, please keep your mask on during intermission.
See,
really?
that's what I'm saying. You ever New Yorkers are like, we rather spend our money on drinks and go out.
Yeah.
Because we're over.
There's more liberty. There's more liberty in that. Would you say?
Yeah.
If you go like
because we're over it. If you know it, like this year of all years, you can tell COVID is like done. It's like we don't care. It's over.
Right.
I don't even hear people talk about booster shots. I'm hearing people talk about vacations now.
Listen, it's funny you just said that because I just saw an article saying that there's a new
the monkeypox.
Deadlier. No, not only monkeypox, but COVID.
Oh.
It's Omicron, but it's a deadlier version of it.
When did this happen?
I just read it a few minutes ago. No joke.
There's another one that's out now.
Another Omicron that's worse than the Omicron that was.
Where is
all
it?
I know is if we go shut down again, I'm getting 3 boyfriends. I'm gonna have one via Zoom and another up the street.
That's right.
And another one where I need to like take a break in Brooklyn.
I hear
like
that.
so I can
Listen,
that's right.
I can't
that's
do this
not
again.
right. That's not right because I've been boyfriend-less for 5 years, and I have committed to having a hot girl summer. I have committed to having a hot girl
boyfriend
summer.
in like really.
I don't know if that means she's telling the truth or she's telling a fib. She's lying. Something's going on there. We don't even know.
I felt like it was doing that, like
right?
I'm like, where's her chair going?
Right.
And it was you
like,
again.
I feel like my iPad.
Okay, so for all of you who are just listening, for those of you who are listening to the podcast and not watching the video and didn't see what happened, Ashley started floating away once again. You don't know.
I'm like, wait, why is she going away again? What's going on?
Oh my God! Listen,
my
guys.
iPad was like, you're a liar.
All right, you guys, listen. We
got
got.
when it's like questionable.
We have so much to talk about today.
We
got a serious topic to talk about
yes,
today.
we really do.
We do.
Yes,
and we have a special guest coming to join us. It's one of our viewers who's been rocking with us since day one. So we want to welcome her to OneMicNite Talk, and we're going to invite her in right now. I think she just showed up.
Yeah.
Let's see
Come
here.
on in, join the family.
All right. I'm so happy today.
It's a good day.
Oh, we're so happy today because one of our viewers is joining us to continue the conversation and to talk about a new topic for us. Please welcome Katonyia Fernandez to OneMicNite Talk. Woo! Welcome, Katonyia. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Marcos, Ashley, and Liz. You don't know how exciting it is to finally be here with all of you. I love you. You're like family to me. I love you guys so much.
We're so happy you could be here.
I cannot go a week without you guys. I really can't.
We appreciate it. So listen, we got to get down to business because there's some hot topic that we want to talk about, and I want to find out what your viewpoints are on the subject. It's been all over the news. We're talking about Roe versus Wade. Now, for those of you who don't know exactly what Roe versus Wade is, I want to give you what the law is. It's Roe versus Wade, which is 410 U.S. 113, which was established in 1973. It's a landmark decision of the Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States generally protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion. Now, it was overturned last Friday, and a lot of people have a lot to say about it, and I want to find out what you guys have to say about it. I have 3 intelligent women here from different parts of the country, different walks of life, and I'm going to step back because as a man it's your decision. You are the women. It's your body. So I want to hear what you have to say about it. So jump on in.
Well, first off, before we begin, I know that us women, we have a lot to say, but I noticed a lot of men haven't been saying anything. So can you tell us a little bit, like, how did you feel, Marcos, when you first like heard the news, or how did you hear the news at first?
Absolutely. I saw it on the news, you know, it was breaking news, and it came on, and I was a little bit surprised because this has been a law for 50 years. And I feel like we're going backwards. I feel like this is just the beginning. I feel like it is a political move it's a bipartisan move. You know, everybody was clearly divided on this decision, Democrats, Republicans. This is a law that affects mostly women, but it's men and women. It's a decision that you make together. So I stand with the women. And I can tell you from a personal experience, and I know my mother's listening, but I could have probably had a child in high school, and I'm not even sure. So I was in a situation where, you know, the person that I was having sex with, the woman that I was having sex with, she and my best friend, we were both having a good time. Mm-hmm. And I'm quite sure that came into play somehow. It was something that I didn't think about at the time as a young man, you know, and in retrospect, I realized that, you know, this was a young lady who had her whole life ahead of her, you know, and she had to make a decision on
Well, let me ask you a question, Marcos. You know, that the question mark lingered over both of you. Did you, you know, do a fast forward in your mind, even though you were a young man, saying to yourself, what am I going to do if I do become a dad? Did your mind go into the spot of, I think it's better if she is that she does?
Of course. I have my whole career and life ahead of me, you know, and at 17 or 18 years old, you think just in one instant, your whole life could change, you know? Yeah. You would instantly have a child at 17 or 18 years old, and all your dreams have to be pushed aside. They don't have to be forgotten, but they had to be pushed aside in order for you to then take care of someone else, because it would be my responsibility as well.
And as a woman who has pushed her dreams aside to have her children, and now in my 50s, I'm now pursuing those dreams. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm grateful that my children are here. I'm grateful that I had those children. However, I would never put my feelings or feel like I had the right to put my opinions, my choices on anyone else. And this is where first of all, I know, Marcos, you introduced my name. I have been in the healthcare business, or in the field of healthcare, most of my adult life. When I found out I was pregnant at 18, 3 weeks pregnant. At 4 weeks, I had a job as a medical receptionist at Vanderbilt. Okay, because 3 weeks pregnant, when I found out when I knew I was pregnant, I had just finished my first year of pre-med at Rockhurst College. And I sat on the porch and I said, God, you know, I wanted to be a doctor, and I wanted to get married. I wanted to wait. And he said, you know, I told you to keep your legs closed. No. Just being honest, you know? And he was like, you know, you speak to me, I'm going to speak to you, you know, and he will. Right. And he said that. And I was like, yep, you did. So I knew I had to do that. And I was told, have an abortion. At that time, I didn't feel like I could do that. at that
Why
time.
did you feel that way, Katonyia? Why did you feel
I did not feel like I could live with ending a life. And I felt like that's what that choice would be.
Okay.
Now, I did not, I honestly, you know what? I hadn't planned on this, but there was another time when I did end up making the choice to do that.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's brave for you to say.
Yeah.
For you to share. Yes.
I felt like the father of the child was going to be the same father who had rejected the first child and was somewhat threatening and was very verbally and emotionally abusive. And I could not see putting another child through what this child was already having to go through.
So in other words, you've seated yourself at both sides of this controversy.
I did.
Yes.
And
no.
And I cried and I prayed through the entire thing. And I listened to gospel music and I just said, God, please forgive me and please take this child back to you. Forgive me for my weakness. Forgive me if this is wrong. Forgive me. And I know that his promises are that he will. And that's the thing. You know, I have seen signs on Twitter and everywhere else that say you can't be a Christian if you are pro-abortion. Well, excuse me, didn't Jesus say, let he who is without sin cast the first stone?
Yes, he did.
Did he not also say, judge not, for as ye judge, so shall ye also be judged? So,
Yes,
excuse me, if God in all of his sovereignty, in all of his holiness, in all of his love for us, deigned to create us and make us so that he wanted us to choose him out of an open willingness to love him. Because who wants to be loved because we are automatically forced? Somebody's forced to love us. No. We want to be loved because somebody chooses to. God wants to be loved that way too.
Right.
Loving is a choice. Yep.
That's right.
So if he created us to choose to love, who are we to say that, who are we to take away anybody's choice? I do not say that anybody should choose abortion. But I also don't say that we should take that choice away. I say that is a personal choice between that person and their medical doctor. What happens to the people who are going to die if that baby is not viable and that doctor can't save that baby or the mother because you have put them between a rock and a hard place?
Yes.
And I say, heaven help any man that has to try to decide now. I mean, if this had been a man's body, this decision would not even have been up there, because never would we ever have a court decide what happens to a man's body in our country.
Something terrifying that I thought about, as I've been following the news on this, this is unprecedented, right? I started thinking, obviously women are being cornered and forced into, this decision. And I foresee, and I'm getting chills right now, even saying this, even throwing this into the universe, that if it's a situation where the woman is pregnant out of rape or incest,
and that's the other thing.
There might be, and oh my God, I don't even want to project this, but I could see murders happening of a mother to a child, an unwanted child.
Not only murders, Liz, what scares me, what frightens me most, is that those that are not strong enough, who don't seek the help or don't have the support to carry that baby to term and choose suicide instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
That's what scares me the most.
Yeah. It's
so lives lost.
As an adult survivor of abuse, of childhood abuse in that form, thank God I had help. Thank God I had support. Thank God my grandmother came out of retirement, took on 3 part-time jobs and a 16-year-old.
Wow.
I would not be here today if it wasn't for her.
Thank you for sharing all this personal stuff.
Thank you. If there were those people that don't have that, 1 out of every 3 girls and 1 out of every 6 boys will be or has been sexually assaulted by the time they're 18. And that was 40 years ago on reported cases, only reported cases.
Yeah.
And now you're saying that they might have to carry a remnant of what happened and look that in the face every day for the rest of their lives.
But what
They're
about
not going to be strong enough. Some of them are not going to be strong enough.
What about those people that say, and many say, it's not the child's fault?
It's not the child's fault. But what I'm saying is the individual that has to carry it is not strong enough to deal with it.
Yeah.
Not only
and you're
mentally,
forcing them to deal with something they're not only strong mentally, enough
but
to deal
what about
with
the
trauma,
financial strain too that goes along with it? You're not able to support the child financially. Then it becomes a product of the system. So what are the people who are making these rules that are the white guys who are making, excuse me for saying this, the white guys who are making these rules that are sitting, and black judge sitting in an exclusive position in the US government, making these rules, they're financially secure. They don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And they're not feeding the ones that can't eat now.
Exactly.
They're complaining about the people who are on the public assistance in this country because they're having kids. But what about the option for these people to have abortions?
They're not providing for health care for the children that don't have health care now.
Yeah.
Women right now are seeking the abortion pill from abroad. Now you don't know what you're really getting from abroad.
Exactly.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So
they're taking stuff they don't know what's going to happen to them.
What's going to happen, how it's affecting their body. What if it's a matter of life or death for them?
Yeah.
Not just for the child, for them.
So
as well.
I think we're not. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Liz, you bring up a great point, because part of the ruling actually said too that going forward, the abortion rights will be determined by the states. So there are 26 states that, are not for it, are not, going to have abortions. So that means that we're going to have an influx of people from those states coming to our state, which is a safe haven. So what kind of strain is that going to put on New York City? What kind of strain is that going to put on, New Hampshire or Illinois or any of those states that provide
and the city is tired. This is the thing. This is putting stress on top of a country that is still going through a COVID situation.
Right.
We're still reeling from that. We're going into the beginnings of a depression, and this is tacking onto that.
And other illnesses
going to render the financial burden.
And with
that
being said, I was thinking just now is that even though it's according to each each individual states, the ones that were the abortion clinics federally like funded, what happens to those? What happens to like you just said, Marcos, how much can a state really take if it's like everybody, because pretty much they said they're rolling back. I saw on CNN, they're rolling back people, they were saying like the contraceptives, birth control,
right.
They're starting to limit that. So I'm wondering like how much can a state take on, like New York City and let's say California, if there's like 10 states that are outlawing it.
Right.
And a lot of them are outlawing. Yeah. Like even like they're saying like after 6 weeks, you can't. That's pretty much when a woman finds out that she's pregnant. So it's one of those things like, how long is New York State going to accept that? Like what's going to be, because there's going to have to be some type of parameters or something that's going to happen.
What would you say to the government, Ashley? What would you say to them regarding
the first
that?
thing I would say to the government is definitely like, we need to hear more testimonies like you, my love. I feel like you were so well-rounded in both parts, you know, and you've been on both sides. And I feel like what I would love to have happen, what they usually do when it comes to legislation, is they have people who testify and say things. So it's very weird to me that the highest court of the Supreme Court, that they can make these rules without hearing anything. And then at the end of the day, it can't be overturned. It has to be something else that we put in for Congress to to another legislation. So I just feel like those rules need to be a little bit tweaked, because for something that is so defiant and it's like, that is it, they ruled it and that's all. I feel like not to hear testimonies from other women. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. I've always thought this. I don't think it's right that only a president gets to choose who is up for vote for Congress to be for Supreme Court judge. I think if someone is making that type of ruling over my life and it's like nothing we can do, I think I should be a part of who might be up for option for, ruling. But the other thing
especially since it's a lifetime appointment.
It's a lifetime until you retire or death. I feel like that I want to be a part of that vote. And another thing I don't like that happened when I would tell, like you said, the government, I don't like that we just have a Black woman who's just appointed, but they made that ruling before she can get in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So good one.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
I think they are trying to.
It's not fair.
That's so heavy.
They are trying to make it so that we can add some more Supreme Court justices. I am getting a lot of emails from different Democratic parties and things like that they are opening it up, if we're signing the petitions, whatever, to allow them to add more justices, so that we can get more justices on the board for the Supreme Court, so that we can balance it out, so that they won't have the majority.
First of all, let's just talk about the fact that it is a lifetime appointment.
Yes, that's a big deal.
I mean, are we the same thing as in England, in the UK, with the Queen? Stays in reign for as long as they want to. Are we that country?
Endless reign.
Right.
Yeah.
Endless reign.
And I also think it shows that they keep saying like the fetus is a person, but like you said, like how about the woman itself? What rights does she have? I mean, you're saying right now daycare ain't free. That costs money. Wages for women is always below men. What I'm saying is, you want us to have a chance to provide for kids, but it's like, what are we looking forward to? What are we looking bleak?
Right.
What are you condemning us to?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, there are other conditions. So I have friends that are infertile. So they go for IVF.
Okay.
They get implanted and there's a problem with the embryo. the doctor really needs to take the embryo to save the mom. But there's a no abortion law.
Mm.
He can't do something to save the mom.
Mm. That's another side
Because
of
of this law.
Yeah.
Who does the government think he is? They think they're better than the doctor? They don't know what they're doing.
Not only that, this is like my biggest one.
It's bad as what I deal with almost every day when I'm going against the insurance companies who are trying to tell doctors what to prescribe.
Oh,
Excuse
really?
me. You're trying to tell the doctor they need to tell the patient to take a calcium phosphate binder, which is going to cause that patient to have a heart attack. Hello.
Yeah.
That's been proven for the past 10 years. That's the worst medicine to put them on.
Yeah.
And you still want them to be on that first.
So this is the thing. The government knows that they're risking our lives in many different ways.
Exactly.
They're risking our life financially. They're risking us bringing up a child in an environment that will be harmful and therefore creating another person that might not be conditioned to deal with the environment that they're born into. Mental illness.
Absolutely.
Abusive environments, sexual abuse, mental abuse, poverty, not proper schooling, maybe no schooling. Are they going to supply the financial help it takes to help this mother bring up this child? No. And then going back to what you said, Ashley, and what you said, Marcos, and what you said, Katonyia, as well. Are we being represented in government? No.
No, not at all.
Because as you said, Marcos, and I myself don't like to use this, but the Supreme Court is mainly white.
It is, right.
So where is the Latino voice? Where is the African American voice?
Right.
Where is the Caribbean voice?
Right.
And the population of children being born for various causes that are not wanted by the mom is high in these cultures. So where are we represented?
I want to read you guys something else real quick, and I think you'll like this. And are we going back to this? Marlon Brando took me to the hospital. I had what they told me was a disturbed pregnancy. The doctor didn't do anything really except for make me bleed. In other words, he didn't do it right. I didn't know it then, but I could have died. What a mess. What a dreadful mess. I can see things happening now and going back to alleys. I'm really nervous and frightened and horrified that this is taking place. I can't believe that some of these people are telling us what to do with our bodies. That's actress Rita Moreno on receiving an abortion years ago.
What year was that, Marcos?
That was right before Roe versus Wade. That's Rita Moreno when she had an affair with Marlon Brando.
I read that full article. It was
wow.
It was just so like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Are we going back to that? Are we going back to that?
No, we're already there.
We are already there. One of the things I get frustrated about is that I don't understand why was this so concentrated on to pass? Like there's so many laws that needs to be gun control, like you were talking about, Katonyia, like incest, sexual abuse. Like I just feel like, or even
if they want the guns,
right? Like
they want to be able to carry the guns wherever concealed, wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
And they don't care how many people and how many children are dying. They want to be able to carry them. I'm like, okay, excuse you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's not helping anybody. You don't mind carrying something that's actually hurting people. And then you get upset when the government mandates for you to take a vaccine that could save lives, but you want to make the government pass a law that's going to force somebody to do something to their body. You say it's wrong for the government to make you put something in your body, but you're going to make them control my body.
Marcos, you asked a very interesting question. Are we going backwards?
Yes.
We are already there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are slowly regressing.
Everything's
And the African-American judge that's in that Supreme Court, he is already proposing.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas.
Thank you, Ashley. He's already proposing to do away with gay and lesbian laws.
Oh, we knew that was coming.
Of course we knew that.
That was like,
right.
We about to get. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand the intention and agenda. Why is this all now coming up? You know what I mean? Like it's like, what is this about? Like, what is happening? And I'm gonna say this. I don't understand how everyone talks so bad about Trump. How is this happening on Biden's watch?
Does it really have to do with the president?
I don't think it really has to do with the president.
I'm not saying it does. I'm not saying it doesn't do with the president. But I love how people were getting on saying we need to vote. But what I'm saying is like, it's proven once and again, stop worrying about the presidential election. Start worrying about who's in office for your district, who's in office for representatives.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying that everyone
starts from the ground up.
But you see how the media does? They kept dogging Trump, saying, get him out of there, vote, whatever, and vote for Biden, Biden. And what I'm saying is the media, it keeps tricking everybody, worrying about who's for president, and look at what's happening.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I just feel like the media got us all. I feel like the media is like, I really feel like the media is Big Brother. Like, forget about other people. I feel like the media is the one that got us all confused, because it doesn't make sense that you're worried about the president and he can't do nothing. For us.
But he hasn't.
For us.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like a puppet.
Basically a puppet.
Really.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm just saying. Like, it should show us again. Stop worrying about the president. Stop worrying about these town halls. Well,
listen, I don't even know if half the people in New York knew it was the preliminaries today.
No, I don't think so.
It was a gubernatorial preliminary. Then who voted? I voted.
Yeah,
I don't
you know what I mean?
so.
Like, people didn't even know. That's what's happening right here in New York, and we're here.
It was today. It was.
That was today.
It was today.
What are you voting for your state? Who was out voting today? That's the question.
Right.
What about your council people?
You see what I'm saying? We're all about the rhetoric of Trump and the rhetoric of the press. It's just, that's what I'm saying. Like, they always get us riled up over that.
And quiet as it's kept,
I'm always dealing with that.
Quiet as it's kept, Trump was pro-choice. That's why he hasn't said anything.
He was. He was pro-choice.
He hasn't said anything about this.
Nothing.
So he's kind of conflicted, because if he comes out and says something now, that he feels like his party is going to turn on him.
And because he's trying to run again.
Well, and they're questioning him about the January 6th and the raid.
Right.
But I have a question for Katonyia. Katonyia, again, I'm going back to the beginning of this conversation, this chat. I would like you to express, if you can, if you'd like, what do you love about the fact that you chose life and you have children now? What do you love about motherhood? And what do you feel was justified in your decision when you made the choice to not have one of your children? And what would you say to that child if you could?
If you feel like talking about it. If you don't, that's fine too.
If you'd like, if you feel comfortable. If you don't, that's fine.
Okay. It's fine. I love my children. I love being a mom. I thank God. He has blessed me tremendously to be a mom, not only to my biological children, but I have like extended family. I actually have Latina children that I've adopted here in Nashville. So I love being able to care, nurture, answer questions, provide. I loved being a part of their school lives. I loved cooking. I loved taking them to church, singing, playing games. I loved all of that. I loved being a nana. I'm a nana. I have 17 plus, I count all of them, grandchildren now. So I just love it all. I had the one that I chose to lose, and the one that I lost another one that was a stillborn. Her name was Zenabria. Thank you. Zenabria, I know she's with my grandmother. I just know she's with my dear, and I would think both of them are in heaven, and I just when it was going on, I just said, God, he says in his word that he knew us before you were formed in your mother's womb. And that's what I took. And so since he knew us before we were formed, then I'm like, Lord, this spirit was yours first.
Yes.
So
yes.
Don't do it to me right now.
I'm sorry.
Don't do it to me.
I love that.
I can't.
Oh,
You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I wasn't ready and that I wasn't strong enough, but I'm giving this spirit back to you. So, and that's what I did. Through prayer and counseling, I thank God for my church. We actually had, at that time, a licensed psychologist. I think we still do, at our church, that did, really active counseling on the side if you needed it. It was called integral counseling at the time. And so I just, got what I needed. And I took it and I got the healing that I needed, because it's there if you want it, if you reach for it. God is good. He is love. And that's what I want people to realize. All of this, you're not a Christian if that's not Christ. Because if you look in the word, never did he look at anybody and say, you have to do this to be loved by me.
Yeah.
The adulterer that they brought to him, he said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And one by one, everybody dropped their stones. And he didn't look at any of them. He didn't condemn any of them or her. He just kept drawing in the dirt. And then finally he looked up and he said, woman, is there anybody here that condemns you? And she said, no. And he said, then neither do I. So go and sin no more.
You know something?
It's love. We just need to love each other.
Right.
It's we're living in a time where we're judging. I'm glad that you brought that up. We're living in a time where judgment is all over the place for different scenarios, for different situations. And, you know, I'm so glad that you're with us. I'm so glad you're with us today to share this perspective of a woman that has experienced both sides and actually was able to choose for self, which is not something that women have the option to do right now. You know, and it's a delicate subject. I fear for all those women that right now are in turmoil, in agony, emotional, because to even consider a decision of not to go through with it, with a pregnancy, is traumatizing in and of its own. So, you know, the government. Yeah.
I'm scared for the people that have their life in danger.
There's so many angles to this. And, you know, I myself feel, what are you saying to me? I it's not my body. You own my body.
Right.
You know, it's like, it's my body.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who are you? Please explain. Please give me supporting documents, you know, for this. Where did you attain this right? You know what I mean? So it's a convoluted situation. It's everybody's up in arms about it. Women are in despair all over this country. You know, there's protests rising all over the place. And I truly fear for the makeup of this country, because we're going backwards. Even when it comes to they find guns more important than, you know, the decision of
saving our children.
Right.
So it's there's a gray area in between. And
do you guys feel like this would be resolved in a way where we eventually would go back to the decision?
No.
Or do you think it'll just be adapted in a way where
I think it's just going to be
well,
different
I
states.
think they're working on a way to resolve it. I do. I think they are. I've signed so many petitions in the last 2 days since this has happened, that they are working to fight against it. With, you know, that AOC and everybody else are working to counteract this. So I have hope that with enough voices, with enough of us saying, no way are we going to sit back and let this happen.
do you feel we have to go to the government itself?
We are the
and
government.
stand outside of the.
Please say that again, Katonyia.
We are the government.
Thank you.
We
Thank
forget.
Thank you.
Exactly.
We are the government. That's
Mhm.
why I say, check your emails,
Mm-hmm.
check the petitions that are available, check whatever it is. Do not throw up your hands and say, this is it. It is not it. It is not over.
That's right.
I mean, I get frustrated when I look at some of the cases that I open and I say, why did you not just go another step or two and get this case for this medicine for this patient? You know, just a couple more steps, you could have found out, hey, this patient was found in it here. One letter was missing off the last name and we could have fixed it. You know,
Right.
That's it. And somebody just gave up. Well, patient not found in the system. No. Go see how the insurance has the patient's name listed.
Take that extra step.
Take the extra step.
You know,
To
just
care.
do a little bit of due diligence.
Yeah.
Do it like it was for you. Do it like it was for your mother.
Absolutely.
Each other.
Yes.
We're one collective. People think that we're different, but we're all human beings. Whatever the color, whatever the race, whatever the gender, we're part of a collective, which is the human race.
That's it.
So
I get a lot of slack, or I have been getting a lot of slack. I'm trying to pull it up a little bit more, but I've been getting a lot of slack because I've been under a lot of stress, but I wasn't meeting my quotas per se, but I'm very detailed because it's more important to me that each case I open, the person gets the medicine they need. So if that means that I spend more time on that case to make sure that I find out what's missing, then I'm going to find out what's missing, because that person is just as important as the next person I'm going to do.
That's right.
I'm not going to just pass the buck to get to the next case so that I can say, oh, I did 20 cases today. No. This person is a live person with feelings and who needs their medicine just like I needed mine.
We all matter.
Exactly.
We all matter.
That's right.
You know, and as that saying goes, if I bleed, am I not going to bleed red?
Right.
Right.
You are.
Like
and
all
I
of you
am
are.
too.
Exactly.
You know, it's only going to be, my blood is maybe a little bit darker, but it's still blood and it's still red. You know, so it's this conversation can go for days and hours. I feel like I can sit here and discuss this, and it could run in so many different ways and so much deeper. The vein is so deep in this conversation. It deserves a second visit, I think.
It sure does.
Part two,
Now,
definitely a part two.
Yep.
First of all, we want to thank you, Katonyia, for coming and sharing your story and being a part of
Yes,
One
thank
Mic Night
you.
Talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
me.
Before we get out of here too, I want you to give a little plug for your small business, because I know you're a businesswoman, and let everybody know what you do and how we can get in touch with you.
What?
What? You're so beautiful. What is making you glow tonight? Please tell us.
Thank you. Thank you. I am an independent beauty consultant for Mary Kay.
Okay.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. So that's the glow. And my favorite quote from Mary Kay Ash used to say, and when I found out it, she used to say, "How old you are is your business. How old you look is mine."
Woo!
That's right. I know that's right.
Yes.
I know that's
Say
right.
that again. Say that again for all those women right now out there.
Right. So how old you are is your business, but how old you look is mine.
Yes.
And I am so grateful that I don't look as old as I am, but I am not ashamed to say that I am almost 60.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah.
gorgeous.
All right.
And gorgeous.
Jeez.
Thank you,
Yes.
Jesus.
Mhm.
But I do use our products, and I've been using them for almost 17 years now. I fell in love with them. That's why I started doing the business, just basically because I could get the discount. And
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Nothing wrong with
Exactly.
that.
Mhm.
Yes,
Nothing wrong with that.
and so basically, if you want to hear about that, more about that, you can get in touch with me on my business pages on Facebook, and that's Katonyia Fernandez at Facebook and on Instagram, and just hit me up.
And Katonyia,
We'll have all the information in the notes of the episode.
I was gonna say, yeah,
so
put
don't
in the
worry.
link.
Yep,
Put the
it'll be
links in.
Yeah.
People can click and just
Do you mind
go.
spelling out your first name, Katonyia, for those that
Oh, yes. And so it's Mary, and then the website is marykay.com /KD Fernandez. And then it's KATONYIA.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
And we'll have
I love
all those links in the episode notes. Also, I want to say, all my guys that are listening and watching this episode too, they have men's products. I've been lucky to receive some of the beard oil, and you see the beard is coming back because I shaved it off.
Catch it.
The oil smells good. It's mint, and let me tell you, it makes it shine, and
But
people
you know
notice
what?
it. So.
You know what, Marcos? Us women, we want men to groom.
That's
To
right.
look
Mhm.
nice and put together.
That's right.
Try some products.
That's it. So definitely check out Katonyia's beauty line from Mary Kay. Like I said, all the information will be in the notes of this episode. So please make sure you follow her. Once again, we want to thank you, Katonyia, for coming on One Mic Night Talk. and sharing your story. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
My name is Marcos Luis. Please find us at OneMicNite. OneMicNite is spelled OneMicNite. And you can follow me at MarcosLuis on all digital platforms. Check me out on TikTok. I'm Marcos Luis 88. How can they find you, Ashley?
I'm at Ashley Elizabeth Green. And if y'all don't like and subscribe this episode, y'all's crazy. Katonyia was preaching.
That was fire.
Church is nothing like a woman who can tell is grounded and centered with wisdom and God in her. I know you said you want to be a doctor, girl. You should be a pastor or a preacher.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what we need. Leaders, that's what we need.
Passionate.
We need that. And especially as women, we need that.
And people who are telling their stories and inspiring other people.
Yes, definitely.
Testimony.
Definitely.
Yep.
Right.
Testimony,
and
yes.
so generous. So we definitely gonna have Katonyia back on at least
Absolutely.
2 more times.
Absolutely.
For some,
For sure.
shenanigans or
That's
something
it.
with them.
Yeah.
But
She'll be in as a guest co-host.
oh yeah.
You're gonna be the first guest co-host.
It'd be so perfect.
Yes.
I'm gonna agree.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys.
Yeah, we definitely need
That's
to.
it.
But hit me up at Ashley Elizabeth Green and please DM, leave comments or whatever. I love Katonyia when she sends me something. It's always great. I always heard it and you know what's so funny? I need to tell you, Katonyia, when you send me stuff, I do a lot. I screenshot it and I leave it. So I meant to tell you that, but I was like, oh, I don't want to be weird.
No, you're not weird ass.
Yeah, I didn't. You know how you like when people don't, know whatever. But I do screenshot a lot of your things, and I put it in I have an album. I'm so organized. I have this little album of wisdom notes, and I keep it in there. So when I look, so keep sending them. I love them. I love that. That's why I tell people DM me. I love it. I never get offended by things like that. But okay,
Thank you.
How can we find you, Liz?
Well, I am singer-songwriter Liz Menezes.
Yes, you
I'll
are.
spell it. Liz. There's only me, right? Liz Menezes. I'll spell it LizMenezes. Music. Find me on all digital platforms. You can download my music on any digital download. Let me know if you like it. New stuff is coming up. I'm working behind the scenes in silence, which is the best sometimes. Katonyia, I want to say thank you so much for your candor, for your bravery.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being an example and a voice in these times that we're living in. Women need to hear this and know that they matter. Their opinion matters. Their sentiment matters. And I think that you showed yourself mighty and strong tonight, and a voice to be heard. So I thank you for that. And I want to thank everybody who's tuning in, who's tuned in to all our other episodes. We're going to keep on going. This is brand new again. And I'm so happy to be back with all of you. I love you, family. And
we missed you.
Thank you.
Yes, we missed you.
OneMicNite. Find us on all digital platforms.
That's
Please
right.
follow, subscribe to the YouTube. Let us know what you want, what you like, and what you want us to discuss. DM us.
So thank you guys once again. We're out of here. And thank you guys for all joining us for the chat every Tuesday and Thursday. We're back. We'll see you next time.
We love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.